All right, how's it going, Jeremy?
It's doing pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm excited to chat about Dice Reloaded. So I read that it was an expansion of a short film. So can you talk a little bit about, because it was a long short film. I think calling it a short film is doing it a little disservice. So can you talk about getting to add that extra 20, 30 minutes to it? And then what was the process like in changing it all and making it a feature film?
Yeah, I mean, I think yeah, the original one was like a little shorter than a full-length feature. But what Epic did was took the original clips and what I did because I edited it all and did all the color grade. They improved everything from the sound, the color grade, and all the edits and everything. So they improved and remixed and remastered everything, added more music and sound effects. So it feels a lot better when you're watching it. Um, but then they also we spoke about the story. How can we add an additional 30 35 minutes into the film? We kind of wanted to expand on Benny's upbringing and like more of his backstory. So we added that in there, and then as well as some different clips within the film as well. But ultimately, it felt like a fuller film. It feels a lot better when you're watching it because it's just more polished. But ultimately, working with Epic on bringing this to a actual full length feature and where it is now, I'm very excited to get this one out.
Yeah. And was there something that maybe was harder or easier when you got to translate it into a fuller film? Like, was creating Benny's backstory both more exciting and also a little more difficult?
Yeah, a little bit of both. Very exciting, very difficult, but we wanted to make sure we touched on the most important points that we feel like audience would want. Because I did have a little bit of feedback from the when we put it out from the first one. A lot of fans wanted to kind of understand where more about Benny's background. So I think this what we filmed now definitely helps bring that to fans.
Yeah. And so since we're talking about Benny, it's always the villains of the horror movies that endure, the test of time. So can you talk
Mhm.
a little bit about Benny's character design because it is very, very cool.
Yeah, I mean, his character design, I feel like there was scarecrows are definitely underutilized in the horror industry. And so definitely wanted to, because there's a lot of clowns out there, and I just wanted to have something different. So I feel like scarecrows are underutilized, and I feel like we definitely executed on what I was looking to kind of bring across because J the guy who plays Benny, his name is Jason. He's just a 6'4", 6'5", 200-pound guy. He's just this big, you know. He played a really good villain. So I'm excited to have people watch this one.
Yeah. And so the another kind of tried and true part of the horror movie experience is the final girl. And I know that you were very excited to create your final girl. So I'm curious why you think that this type of character has endured for all of these years, and then what you personally wanted to add to this legacy of the final girl.
Yeah, I just wanted to have a final girl that's very relatable to a lot of different people. And I just wanted to be pretty much like a badass that can just, kick a lot of people a lot of people's ass, especially the villains. Kind of that good dynamic, the cat and mouse back and forth they have going on throughout the film. And then Eden Campbell, I think she did a really good job executing exactly what I wanted out of a final girl for sure.
Yeah. And so when you were auditioning for Cassandra, what were you looking for? Like what stood out in Eden's audition that you were like, I think that she would be able to carry this?
Yeah, I mean, she just had a lot of emotions, great emotion, great actress. Um, she's exactly what I envisioned for this character. I didn't really know it until I started watching a lot of these different clips, and when I saw hers, I was like, oh yeah, she's definitely the one.
Yeah. What I found really interesting about the film is that there's a lot of long stretches with no dialogue, and it really feels like this could turn into like a silent film, and it really is just all about the visuals. But I imagine as a writer director, it's a little intimidating to kind of step back away from the words. So can you talk
Hmm.
a bit about how the silence works in the film and why you chose to let people live in that awkward quietness?
Yeah, I mean, it's just a number of different things. I feel like more quieter, less dialogue is more, is a lot scarier when you're watching horror films, and also our villain doesn't speak.
Mm.
So there's that part of it, and then there's a lot of kill scenes in there, and then also I didn't really want to dive into much of that dialogue because I was a first time writer. This is my first time writing it, writing a script. So it was a combination of all of those things is why you see what you see now in this film.
Yeah. And not to jump ahead into the future, but I mean, horror movies love a sequel, three of them. As now,
Hmm.
potentially, if you take Benny's story and Cassandra's story on to the next film, as someone who now has a script under their belt, what do you feel like you learned from that first time writing experience that you would want to maybe try and explore in the next one, should there be a next one?
Oh yeah, I feel like I definitely want to expand upon this story. Definitely going to be a part two. I would love for a part two. But yeah, there's a lot I learned from, writing this one, shooting this one, and then editing it.
Mhm.
Um, when you do all three of those, you find different ways to kind of improve upon your next one, or where you could have, kind of improved upon. But yeah, the part two, if there's a part two, is definitely going to be much bigger, much better. Obviously you want to go bigger and better than your original.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, I think there's a lot of expanding to do on these two characters, especially our villain Benny for sure.
And I imagine it's kind of weird to sit down at your desk and write a bunch of different ways that people are going to be murdered. So I've always been I've always been curious, like from somebody who has written a horror movie, is it kind of weird to that process of like writing about because you have to be kind of graphic because the
Yeah,
set designer has to know what they need and things like that. So I was curious if you wanted to talk a little bit about that side of things.
that's a great question. I've never been asked that one, but yeah. So when I wrote the script, I wrote it all into the kill scene. I knew there was going to be a kill scene, but I left that part blank. All
Mm,
those kill scenes were left blank, and I was kind of brainstorming with other people. I was like, how should we kill this person here? Because I didn't like, I wanted something unique and creative as far as a kill scene. So, like there's an example where a party scene, there's a guy who walks into like near the bathroom. Then I was thinking about, I left it all blank until he got into the bathroom. Like, how can we kill this guy off? And then so all the kill scenes on the script were left blank. And I kind of worked with Jason, I worked with my brother, kind of brainstorming how we can do a unique kill for these characters, and something that's kind of hasn't been done
mhm.
as far as a kill scene. So yeah, that was my kind of my thinking behind it.
So you were waiting till shooting day to decide?
No, no, it was more like maybe a couple months before the shooting day
Oh,
because we have to buy the prosthetics. You have to get everything prepped and ready to go before you actually shoot the kill scene.
yeah, I was gonna say shooting day feels like that's adding a lot more stress than you guys don't
Oh
need.
yeah, no, no, no. That'd be crazy if we did, but definitely. So I filmed it. I wrote the script during the pandemic.
Mhm.
It sat on my desk for a while, and then I was brainstorming with Jason and my brother, how we can do these kills, and then maybe like a month or two later, we filmed it.
I see. Very interesting. And so, should there be a sequel, would you feel like you would tackle it the same way again, kind of like outsourcing and discussing killing with other people? It's such a strange thing to
Um, Probably have something written there, but definitely will be seeking others' opinions and then expanding from there.
yeah. And I imagine, did you get to, you talked about writing, directing, and editing the short film, but did you
Hmm.
also edit now that it became the feature? Did you have somebody come in and do the
Yeah,
edit?
no, yeah, Epic has a team of editors, so
Mm-hmm.
they did an amazing job. So they have a lot more experience than me, so so it's a lot better. But yeah, they did a great job. I really like what all they were able to accomplish with the film.
Yeah. And my last question for you is just if you were a character in your film, how long do you think you would last against a killer like Benny? You think you'd make it away?
Oh no, against Benny, no, I don't think so. But if you were paying attention, I do make a little cameo at the very end. I am the cop at the very end of the film, very like 3 seconds. Most people don't catch it, didn't know that was me, but that's me as the cop at the end. So yeah, that's my little cameo I had.
Yeah, very fun. Well, thank you, Jeremy, for your time, and I can't wait to see where your film goes next.
Thank you.